Welcome back to part number 3 and the finale of What If Maul Never Betrayed the Rebels. Thank you for your great support on all the other parts. If you are not aware of those or are not subscribed, please do those first before watching this video. Outside of the field of view of the Sith, Luke Skywalker was making quick progress in his Jedi training under Yoda and Ahsoka Tano. Aware of the threat posed by the Sith, Luke learned the art of force deflection to block any force-orientated attack, as well as excelling in lightsaber combat. But with the Death Star having already decimated several rebel planets, frequent transmissions from Princess Leia were demanding for their intervention were the rebellion to survive. Yoda insisted on patience, and after what seemed to be an eternity, he deemed Luke to be ready for his greatest test, were he to be truly worthy of his Jedi status. Leaving the planet, Yoda planned for Luke to be captured by the Empire, knowing he was wanted by the Emperor, before Ahsoka and himself sneaked in, whilst the Imperials were distracted. From aboard a Rebel Alliance cruiser, the Ghost Crew had joined the Rebels, and they all watched Luke fly alone in his X-Wing. Just as Yoda had predicted, Luke was allowed passage into the Death Star hangar, and Hera Syndulla guided her crew, then Ahsoka and Yoda to follow Luke. The Imperial TIE fighters hover around the Death Star, and Hera uses all of her supreme piloting skills to navigate to an obscure docking area located in one of the lower levels. Ezra leapt out and force pushed the stationed stormtroopers into the walls before they could sound the alarms as they went in search of Luke. Descending even further downwards, the Jedi infiltrate the detention area and find Luke in one of the cells, dragging him out into the open and providing him with his new lightsaber. Rising to the level of the primary docking area, Luke stepped out and ignited his blade, pointing at the Emperor. The Sith Lord orders his apprentice to attack him, but Vader secretly had other ideas, cleverly dragging the battle back into Maul's temporary cell. Releasing the former Sith by breaking the mechanism with his lightsaber, the unexpected attack of Maul would have been critical had it not been for the intervention of Ezra. The Jedi Padawan had improved, but was still outmatched as he is pushed into the turbolift. Maul and Vader bring the battle back to the location of Palpatine, and the Sith Lord is seething at Maul's release. Going straight for his former apprentice, Maul is defenseless against his old master, soon writhing in a lightning attack, but as Vader was about to betray his master, Ahsoka attacked him by surprise, slicing part of his upper body. Vader began to wheeze, but his pain fueled him as he powered through the defences of his old apprentice to strike her down. Luke howled in fury at Ahsoka's demise, and against the pleas of Yoda, he used his anger to attack both the Emperor and Vader. The two Sith are taken aback by this level of aggression from a Jedi, and with Yoda, they began to retaliate with the power of the light. From the floor, Maul got up from his torture and found his lightsaber was broken, so summoned one of Ahsoka's fallen blades, running as Sidious. Plunging the bright lightsaber into Sidious's chest, Maul found his own chest had been punctured by the blade of Ezra Bridger, who had recovered from his injury. Soon Luke battled his father, and alongside Yoda, they defeat the former Jedi Knight. Luke knelt down to his father, and removing his mask, Anakin apologised for all the crimes he had committed and the tragedy he had inflicted upon Luke, before the sound of his notorious breaths faded into the rebel gunfire which was heading their way. Dragging the bodies of Ahsoka and Anakin to the lower levels, Hera was stationed in her freighter and took them back to the rebel fleet, whilst Luke entered his still functioning X-Wing. The Jedi Knight flew and joined the squadron and managed to fire his proton torpedo into one of the Death Star's exhaust ports, just before he could unleash his superweapon upon another rebel planet, sending shards of debris across the stars. Luke travelled with the Ghost Crew to Chopper Base and the planet of Attilan, where away from the celebrations occurring across the galaxy, Anakin and Ahsoka were buried alongside each other, and Luke creates a small memorial for Maul's worthy sacrifice. As Yoda and Luke watched the former Jedi burning at a pyre, they are joined by Captain Rex, who was both angry for not knowing that Anakin had become Darth Vader, and also saddened by the fates of his former general and commander. Eventually walking away from the flames, the Jedi and Ghost Crew join the celebrations with the other rebels, and R2-D2 beeps sadly as they are congratulated by Leia and Bail Organa. Yoda reveals Leia's true lineage to Anakin, and Rex declares that she should be proud, despite the atrocities he had done as Darth Vader. Walking into the trees, Rex and R2-D2 had a lot of stories to tell the twins of Anakin. That is it for What If Maul Never Betrayed the Rebels. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.